Good morning everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of facial nonverbal communication. We'll explore how our facial expressions reveal emotions, how they can be used to detect deception, and the vital role they play in our everyday social interactions. It's an intriguing topic that sheds light on the unspoken language we all use. Let's get started. The human face is an incredibly dynamic channel for nonverbal communication, playing a key role in expressing our emotions and intentions. Facial expressions can convey complex messages quickly, often even before we say a word. That's why being able to read these cues is so important, especially in social and professional settings, because they offer a glimpse into someone's true feelings and reactions. When we master the art of interpreting facial nonverbals, we become much more effective in our interactions, accurately picking up on the emotional undercurrents behind the spoken words. Ultimately, understanding facial expressions deepens our ability to connect with others and navigate conversations with greater empathy and clarity. When we talk about key facial nonverbal cues, there are three main elements to consider. First, microexpressions. These are those brief, involuntary facial expressions that flash across a person's face, revealing true emotions even when they're trying to hide them. They're like windows into what someone really feels beneath the surface. Next is eye contact. This plays a crucial role in regulating social connections. It can show that someone is paying attention, interested, or sometimes even deceptive. Finally, eyebrow movements. Although subtle, these movements communicate a lot. They can signal surprise, skepticism, or confusion. They help us better understand the meaning behind spoken words and guide the flow of social interactions. Together, these facial cues are powerful tools in decoding emotions and intentions in everyday communication. Our brain is incredibly quick at reading facial cues, with regions like the amygdala playing a crucial role in evaluating emotions almost instantly. This rapid decoding happens within milliseconds, enabling us to respond immediately to the emotions we observe in others. Behind the scenes, a complex network of neural circuits works together to assess whether faces signal threat, trustworthiness, or social engagement. These interpretations are essential because they shape how we behave in social situations, helping us adapt appropriately. This whole process underscores the evolutionary significance of facial cues, showing how vital they have been for human communication and survival throughout history. Eye blocking is when someone deliberately avoids or obstructs eye contact. This often signals feelings like discomfort, anxiety, or even an attempt to hide something. For example, people might look down, cover their eyes with a hand, or wear sunglasses indoors as a way of blocking eye contact. Psychologically, this behavior can suggest that the person is experiencing cognitive overload or emotional distress. In some cases, eye blocking might be a sign of deception or evasiveness during an interaction. However, it's important to remember that context matters a lot, and individual differences should always be taken into account before jumping to conclusions about someone's intentions based on their eye-blocking behavior. Facial blushing is an involuntary physiological response where the cheeks and forehead suddenly turn red. This reaction is typically triggered by emotions like embarrassment, shame, or social anxiety. Interestingly, blushing serves as a nonverbal signal. It communicates vulnerability and social awareness to those around us. Because it's so hard to control consciously, blushing acts as a genuine indicator of our true feelings, especially in social situations where honesty and adherence to social norms are important. When we look at mouth gestures, there are several subtle cues that can tell us a lot about what someone is feeling. For instance, lip biting is often a sign that a person is nervous or trying to hold back something, maybe self-restraint or hesitation. Pursed lips usually indicate hesitation or even disagreement, so it's a useful signal to notice when someone isn't fully on board or is unsure. Another important gesture is twitching around the mouth, which can reveal underlying tension or stress that someone might be trying to keep hidden. What's key is paying attention to these subtle movements in context with other body language, as together they provide a clearer picture of emotions like uncertainty or even deception. Ultimately, understanding these mouth gestures helps us grasp the deeper communicative intent behind what's being said, making our interpretations more accurate and insightful. When it comes to detecting deception through facial cues, there are several significant challenges we need to consider. First, individual variability plays a major role. Everyone expresses emotions differently, so what might be a sign of deceit for one person could be completely normal for another. Then, we have the fact that skilled deceivers can intentionally mask their true feelings, deliberately controlling their facial expressions to mislead observers. Another important factor is cultural differences. Different cultures have unique norms about gestures and expressions, so interpreting these cues requires a careful understanding of the context. Additionally, people vary widely in how they express or suppress emotions, which makes it difficult to rely solely on emotional expressions as indicators of deception. All these points highlight the limitations of depending only on facial nonverbal cues to detect deceit. It's crucial to combine these observations with other information and remain cautious about drawing conclusions based on facial expressions alone. A common myth is that avoiding eye contact always means someone is lying. In reality, people might look away because they're shy or mentally overwhelmed, not because they're being deceptive. Another misconception is that a single facial expression can definitively reveal deceit. Communication is far more complex than that, and relying on just one gesture oversimplifies the process. That's why it's so important to be aware of these misunderstandings. Being mindful helps us avoid making wrong judgments and ensures we use nonverbal cues ethically. Ultimately, detecting deception requires a nuanced approach. It's about interpreting multiple behaviors in the broader context of human communication, not just focusing on isolated signs. When we look at facial nonverbals, things like microexpressions, eye contact, blushing, and mouth gestures reveal a lot about what someone is feeling or intending, often beyond the words they use. However, it's important to remember that interpreting these cues isn't straightforward. We have to consider the context, individual personality differences, and cultural backgrounds to avoid misunderstandings. Understanding these subtle signs can greatly improve our communication by helping us empathize with others, spot when someone might not be fully truthful, and navigate social situations more smoothly. By actively incorporating awareness of these facial signals into our daily interactions, we can create clearer, more effective connections with the people around us. The face serves as a powerful channel for nonverbal communication, allowing us to convey subtle emotional and social signals without words. However, when it comes to detecting deception, facial cues can be tricky. People vary widely in their expressions, and some intentionally hide their true feelings, making it difficult to rely on the face alone. It's important to acknowledge both the strengths and the limitations of reading facial expressions, so we can apply this knowledge wisely in both professional and personal interactions. By doing so, we can enhance the accuracy of our communication and deepen our understanding of the relationships around us.